Hello, everyone, and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, I kind of forgot it was the 200th episode, so we did it! Yeah! Cool. Yeah. This show has nothing to do with that. So anyway, we're actually going to be talking about something we haven't spoken about in quite some time on the show. As we're waiting for the JP Fan Fest, we figured, why don't we talk about content creation in the Final Fantasy XIV community? It's been popping for the last several years. More and more people keep popping up and talking about the process for anyone who's interested in content creation for this community. Figured it might be something you guys are interested in. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Epi Pope-Roma. Of course, joining me is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, who has, it's not a 14 video, but he's got some big time YouTube video too. You got that big time video, Slyh.
He's popping.
Yeah, what is it at? Like 1.7 mil now? That video?
I saw that. You popping.
Yeah, Slyh, dude, Slyh's YouTube famous. He shits on me. I don't have any videos with that many views. He shits on me.
Nope, me either. Me either.
We love you, Slyh, is what we're saying. Make more stuff that. Make more of it. Don't pull an Ethis. Make YouTube content. Anyway. I always burn him on that. Every week I say it. Because I like watching Ethis' videos and I'm sad.
I do too. I'm also sad. Make more videos at this.
Exactly.
Yeah, by the way, Larry's here.
Yeah, and then our final guest for the show, you guys know him because he makes you laugh a lot. It's basically Larryzaur.
Why did you have me on such an important episode number?
Why not?
Why are you saying you're not important?
Pretty important. This is episode 200.
Yeah, I kind of forgot.
Remembered a minute ago.
Yeah, I just realized.
Yeah, look, you're on a special show. What's the problem? Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Yeah, hi. Indeed.
He sounds so dejected now.
He's like, man, you guys could have done something completely different, and here I am.
It's a. I mean, we can look on Reddit. We can look on the Lodestone.
Yeah.
No.
Read some Reddit posts.
I don't want to do that.
Oh, no. Please God, no.
How you doing, Larry?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad you're good. Well,
yes.
Welcome to episode 200 of State of the Realm.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I remember for episode 100 we did something.
Yeah.
For episode 200 we've got Larry. I mean, we've only had you on the show once before. So
yeah, this is my second time. We could have some cake or something like that, or some beer.
I've got a command for that. How much cake do I have? 2,681 slices. There you go.
That's a lot of cake.
Yeah, I don't even know what kind of cake it is, to be honest. But, delicious, I'm sure. It's cake after all. So I asked Larry awkwardly while I was live if he was good for today's show. And he obliged.
I said, fine.
That's true. He didn't seem really that excited about it, but he's here. So I guess, it's what we got.
Hi.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you.
Ooh, what you got there? Is that Perrier?
I just spilled all over me. Pellegrino.
Oh, Pellegrino, okay. Anyway, so on this show, we are going to be talking about content creation, but before we get started, we have to make sure we shout out our first list of sponsors. For those who didn't know, SteelSeries sponsors the show. They've sponsored my channel for years now. And if you want a chance to enter to win free shit, go to the YouTube video, go to the description, and click on the monthly giveaway. I haven't pulled the winner. I've been busy this last week. There was a winner for the previous month. The next giveaway has started. It has been present since last week's episode. So be sure to go enter for your chance to win something worth $90 approximately off the SteelSeries store. $90 or less. And as long as you're in a country that they ship to, you're eligible. And age 18 plus. So thank you to them. And we'll be thanking our Patreon sponsors halfway through the show. So
thank you. So
yes, and look, see, Slyh has SteelSeries. Look at that. I mean, I kind of force fed it to him.
I don't,
but yeah.
I have Razor.
So
I was like, here, you want to see all this other competing brand stuff that I have right here? There we go.
I have some no-name keyboard.
Oh, that's not nice. That keyboard loves you.
It does, but the keys are all faded. You can't even read them.
It's all right. Some people buy their keyboards like that on purpose.
Yeah, okay. That's interesting.
DOS keyboards, DAS. DOS keyboard. It's like DOS boot.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my friend in college had one. Anyway, let's stop talking about anything that's not Steel Series.
So yeah, Larry, it's been a minute since we had you. What's been going on? What's new in the life of Larryzaur?
I think actually the last time I was on was around this kind of timing before Stormblood.
Let's find out. Going to my YouTube channel, typing in Larryzaur.
Yeah.
Episode 129, August 15th, 2017.
August. So that was after Stormblood then.
Yeah, that was after.
Just afterwards, yeah. And it was about content creation.
Yeah.
So we're doing it years later to see if anything's changed, things are different. Because I don't remember, how long have you been doing content creation for Final Fantasy 14? Like, do you know the exact time frame?
2 years now. So I started January. What's this year? It's January 2017. So all of 2017, all of 2018. And now.
And that was just about 7 months, then 6-7 months after you had started doing content creation. So I'm sure you've learned a lot of things. I know I have. I know Sly's, outside of the video we talked about earlier, he's been doing a lot more stuff regarding that, or trying to pick up some new stuff. And I'm proud of you for it, Slyh, as much as YouTube likes to fuck us constantly.
Yeah.
I saw your thing on Twitter the other day, Larry.
Oh, that was so frustrating.
And we're going to talk about that.
Incredibly frustrating. Okay.
We're definitely going to talk about that. Yeah. And there's always people asking about content creation. You know, it's kind of, even to this day, it's still kind of like a newer thing in terms of like producing it regularly. And Twitch, even, we could have to consider content creation as well. It's a whole different beast. But the 14 community's been bustling more and more. I don't know if you guys have been
now, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's been crazy insane. I don't know if you guys have been seeing all the new names that have been popping up, but you go to Reddit real quick and look at any sort of thread that says what streamers, YouTubers should I watch, and you look through the list, you're like, holy shit. There's so many people.
There's a lot. Much more than there was when I started. And then even before I started too, there was even less than that. So
I mean, that's a good sign though, right?
It is, yeah.
People
it's healthy
love it
for the game, yeah.
It's very healthy for the game. So with that, we're going to be digging kind of a little bit more into the nitty gritty as we go on. But I'm sure a bunch of people probably also have questions in the chat. So if you see something that you feel like we should address that's in the chat, feel free to grab it and just interrupt with whatever. So, Slyh, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you make content for Final Fantasy 14 outside of Twitch?
Where's your YouTube videos, Slyh?
Where's your Final Fantasy 14 YouTube videos, Slyh?
Why the fuck are you putting me on the spot?
No, I'm actually so that's my blunt way of saying it. I'm actually more curious as to because you suddenly I remember you and I were speaking, and you had a sudden urge to start creating YouTube videos. It was kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious where that came from, I suppose.
That's how it starts.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of people come from the YouTube side and then like go to Twitch, and I'm the other way around. And I thought, well, like I'm streaming, I might as well, people aren't here, and VODs disappear on Twitch all the time. Might as well put all that shit on YouTube anyway. So as of recent, that's what I've started doing more, is just uploading stuff to YouTube, whether it be streams or certain streams of certain games, things like that. I do that, and something interesting every now and then.
And you're just doing that mostly as the compilation of what you've got on Twitch, because I've been down there before. I couldn't keep up with it, so kudos to you.
It's really hard, and I find myself struggling to keep up with it. And it's like, well, when you back yourself up that bad, I have to take like a day or maybe even 2 days to go back, highlight everything on Twitch, import it, make thumbnails, do all the SEO and everything.
That sounds like a chore. That's what that sounds like.
It is like I said, especially when you get backed up and you have like a ton of streams you have to think about, and you have to like go through, watch split together, and it's.
Wait, do you cut highlights, make it a highlight video, or are you like uploading segments?
No, like segments. It's more segments.
Okay. Yeah.
Mainly for like stuff like S&T Saturdays, which I kind of have to.
Yeah. So it's like uploading the VODs to YouTube, because YouTube is much better to watch past content than Twitch is. Twitch's VOD content definitely needs to be improved, but it's so you have it also on YouTube, essentially, is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Twitch could really use like just a straight up different platform.
Completely different. Yeah. Completely different.
It just doesn't. And honestly, half the time I try to upload stuff from Twitch to YouTube directly, it like adds seconds to the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
So like I've tried doing like my weekly Q&As, and I'd like go quiet for the first like 10 seconds so I can like find the start point when I go back, and then it'll keep that whole 10 seconds in, even though I clipped it out. So the whole video will just start, will go on YouTube, be like,
sometimes like one of those.
Hey everyone. The whole thing is there, and it's terrible. But we're not here to talk about just strictly Twitch's VOD system. And I want to start with Slyh, because Larry and I, you and I have created 14 content specifically for years, and Sly's newer into the game, and so I was curious to see if he started to see the struggles, the woes, the time consumption that can kind of go into it, and Slyh, you're just getting started on that.
You're not cutting, you're not editing anything.
Well, he does. He does a few things.
A few things, yeah.
The Mr. X one I saw. What is he? Is he called Mr. X? I forget his name.
Yeah, Mr. X.
Yeah. That one I saw, and I was like, this is really good. I really liked how the when he was off screen, the music like went really quiet, like he was gonna be approaching, and then as soon as he approached, it would be loud again. I was like, oh, this is great.
The PC version has an official mod that will do that now.
Really?
Where like as if he's really far away, you can hear it. It's like lower, yeah.
I wonder if they saw your video and they got the idea from that.
There's that, and there's Thomas the Tank Engine, which is apparently the new craze.
I've heard about that.
The Thomas the Tank Engine one is hilarious, so I would highly recommend.
That was like back in Skyrim, they did that kind of shit.
Well, now they're doing it in Resident Evil 2.
I haven't played it yet, so I kind of want to play it now, but with that mod on.
I feel like at GDQ one year, there's going to be like people are going to be able to vote on what Mr. X mod gets put in for the speedruns, and Thomas the Tank Engine is going to win every single time. I'm going to wait for there's going to be like a My Hero Academia one. There's going to be Thomas. There's going to be the X going to give it to you. It's going to be like that, and those are going to be the choices. It's going to be fantastic.
No. If you do My Hero Academia, it won't be able to be uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah, you learned that the other day. Yeah. I saw the finish. Yeah, no, you definitely can't do that. So that's just kind of the start of things. But when it comes to Final Fantasy 14 in particular, content creation is kind of how do I say this? There's multiple routes you can go. We have Larry here, who, despite releasing one educational video recently, which everyone thought would be full of memes, and actually ended up being like not crazy memey, but just enough.
Everybody was like, "Are you dying? Are you okay?"
That was basically, what was the exact name? Because I know it's basically what job you should play, but I don't know if that's the exact
basically
name.
Which job to play.
Yeah, there you go. So I knew it was something like that. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's gonna be funny. It's gonna." Oh wait,
what the fuck? Yeah.
Well, that was helpful.
I learned something. What?
To be fair, the other basically videos are quite educational at times.
They are, absolutely, of what not to do.
I thought it was what to do. That's why it's basically that. What do you mean? What do you mean that's not how Dark Knight works?
Which also ties into another thing of people thinking if you make comedy videos, they think you don't know how to play the game.
How are those 15 UCOB weapons, by the way, Larry?
Pretty good. I paid for those. My bank account, I couldn't pay rent this month. But no, a lot of people think like, oh, so he makes jokey videos. He doesn't know anything about the game. And I'm like I had one comment recently actually was, Larry, I used to like your old videos when you made jokes and you weren't good at the game. But now that you're good at the game, I can't relate to you anymore. So I don't like your videos. And I was just like, I knew how to play the game before I started making videos. I did like Savage Raids and I did Second Coil Savage like before I even made my YouTube channel. I'm like, this hasn't ever been any different. Like, I don't understand why people associate if you make a funny thing, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know.
You know, for me, the association is they see Mr. Happy and then I start screaming fuck everywhere. And they're like, I'm like, but I'm happy while I'm saying it.
Yeah.
I'm smiling.
He's so unhappy right now. Why is his name
like,
Mr. Happy?
What the fuck was that? Oh my god.
You can never show any signs of being unhappy.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
I literally can never look like this.
Yeah, you're not living up to your name right now, dude.
Yeah. I mean, everyone else seems to think it's a euphemism for penises, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I get somewhere in the middle.
Oh no.
That or ecstasy. Depends on who you ask. I get all sorts of things for my name, man. My name has nothing to do with anything. It was Spanish homework that landed me this name. Okay?
Really?
Yeah, it was something about a monkey. It was a happy monkey. So it was Señor Feliz Mono, Mr. Happy Monkey. I just took the monkey part out and made it a name in some like random alien shooter.
That's actually really interesting. It's always interesting to hear how people get their names from.
Spanish homework when I was 12.
And that's interesting.
I don't think it is.
Like Slyh got his name from, where'd you get your name? Well, Gray Fox, but what about the Slyh part?
Well, yeah.
It's my name.
It's his name.
Wait, what? That's your real name?
That's my name.
It's spelled differently, but yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's so awesome. Oh, it's your last name.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool. That's my real name too.
I like that you of all people are like so fascinated at the idea of it being his real name, yet your real name is part of your name.
Actually, my real name's Lawrence, but same thing.
There you go. Yeah, but I would get tired of saying Lawrence. Like my full name's Michael, but I only say it formally because I hate it.
It's too many syllables.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. 2, that's definitely too hard.
That's what the 2 is for. Too hard.
Yeah.
There you go.
But back on what you asking Slyh about starting YouTube videos, I find that like that's how content creators always start. Did you think I was gonna say something like, "Oh, where's more YouTube videos?" No. That's how content creators always start. Is you just have a desire to make something.
Yeah.
You just come up with an idea in your head. Like even if you're just streaming only, like sometimes like you know we're all creative minds, so you're always like, oh wow, I thought of this really cool idea, I want to make that and put it into the world and other people can enjoy it, and that's how it starts. So that's good you started, Slyh.
And it doesn't always just, I remember before I ever wanted to do YouTube videos, I was always coming up with ideas for apps when like apps were new, and then I couldn't develop any of them, so I didn't, and I just did video games instead.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's different. You gotta learn the languages, and
I was in school for it, but I was just bored doing it.
Yeah,
I was like, I want to make an app called Control F, where you hold it over a textbook and you put a word in, and it'll find that case of the word everywhere on the page. Because I was buying ebooks to not have to actually read everything and just Control F and find keywords when I was studying.
You want to Control F with image recognition?
Yes.
That sounds complicated for your first app.
that was my first idea, because I was like, I'm just buying ebooks because reading sucks. I need a way to read less.
You're just reading books. You're like, I want to Control F this real book.
I really did. That's how I got the idea. I just don't want to read everything. I just want to know where the word crisis is. Okay, that's all I'm looking for. And that's how. I mean, that's just the creative mind always wants to make something.
Yeah.
And I remember for me, it was not this, but like I just saw nobody was doing anything with Final Fantasy 14. It was like 6 months before it came out, and I was like, I guess I'll just start talking about I like to talk about games. I'll just talk about Final Fantasy 14.
And that's like the best time to get into it, especially too.
Yeah. Although back then I wasn't really thinking about it like that. Obviously, nowadays I more so consider stuff like timing. You know, when a game just came out, before a game comes out, report on every little thing that is happening or create content that is around it, and it generally creates some sort of buzz. Another great example of somebody who I saw do that model was Dado for Destiny. It was coming out. It was long before it came out. He was way on top of it. And he had 6,000 subs when I first saw him, and I was like, this guy's doing it right, because that's what happened to me. And then, boom! Loved watching it. Yeah. So it's just a big thing when it comes to creation. But that's where the fun kind of tempers is after that. Because there's like this, I don't know if you've had this yet, Sly. I'm sure you have the adrenaline rush of making something new and the excitement around it. And then separate bilayer. And then separate.
I gotta go.
And then separate that from actually doing it. And you have an entirely separate mentality that goes into it that feels very much like work. People don't think there's a lot of work involved when you're just making content about video games. Even if it's something really simple.
Oh my God. I was at my getting a haircut the other day. They were like, oh, what do you do for work? And I'm always so hesitant to answer this question. I never know how to answer it correctly, but they were younger, right? They were closer to my age. I thought they were like hip. So I was like, oh, I do YouTube. And they were like, how does that work? What does that mean? You make money from that? How do you do that?
Yeah, that's always the one thing. You make money from that? Like,
yeah. And I stream on Twitch. They're like, what's Twitch? I'm like, oh, it's YouTube, but live. Like, oh, you make money? Like, how do you make money from that?
Yeah, they want like your fucking revenue streams, dude. You think that it's like undercover IRS or some shit. They want to like know everything about you. That happened to me yesterday. Mel and I were at lunch, and the guy saw that I was wearing a Final Fantasy shirt, and then he had a million questions. It was a really nice guy, but I was just like, I feel so awkward. I'm not built to talk to people.
It always feels awkward explaining it when they don't know what it is.
Especially Lyft drivers.
Oh my
God. I feel at first it felt awkward, but you know, when you think about it, and when you really think about it, I mean, this is a dream for a lot of people. And at first, when I kind of talked about it, people asked, I'm like, yeah, I get paid basically to play video games on stream, even though I still have my main job. And you know, I want that to kind of slowly turn into not my main job, and you know, this to be my main thing. But yeah, even so, like when I first started explaining it, I was nervous and I was like a little hesitant. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I play video games in front of people on a camera and paid for it. And there's no hesitation whatsoever. There's a little bit of pride too. And it's because it's a cool thing to do. Yes, it's very risky. It takes a lot of work, but at the same time, it's cooler than a lot of the shit other people do. I can say for a fact.
I feel like you're going to reach for something specific, and then you were like, I probably shouldn't name something specific.
I shouldn't like say. Yeah.
But I think very recently there was a study done on kids in elementary school of what they want to be when they grow up. And
Fortnite streamer. Oh no, is this the one where it says Fortnite streamer?
No. Just YouTuber.
Okay.
It was just the profession they want to be was YouTuber, and that was by far the biggest one. I was like, wow, this is like the first generation where like they know like this is a profession. Like when we grew up, I didn't. What? Like
no.
Even watching YouTube, I didn't know it was a profession at first. When it first started, I had no idea.
I didn't realize it until I think one of the first YouTube videos I saw was Achievement Hunter teaching you how to get the achievement in Left 4 Dead 2 where you kill the tank while it's not on the ground. And there's like and that was like the first like video where I was like, wait, this is a company? Like multiple people like contributing to like, how do they do that? And then before long they had facilities and animes and all sorts of crazy stuff going on with that. And I mean, generationally speaking, that question's just going to pop up more and more because a lot of people still don't understand it. They just know it exists now. I know my family's impossible to talk to about this stuff.
I've explained it to my parents, but like beyond my parents, it's difficult.
Yeah. And a big part of that process is motivation. You know, you having a creative mind is one thing, but having the motivation to do a video on something related to a game is a whole different story. So for me with Final Fantasy XIV, it was because I loved Final Fantasy. That was my motivation. Over the years, there have been times where I'm interested in other things, but I still have to maintain the same motivation for what I was already doing while motivating myself to do new things. And I don't know about you guys, but there's always some sort of lopsidedness as the years have gone on. You know, you just reach like burnout points or, you know, dead zones where like maybe you don't have an idea or you can't figure out the idea. I know, what's the time recently I ran into, I have an idea and I don't know if I can do it. It was something related to Eureka, but it was like comedy related. And I don't do too many comedy videos, so I like couldn't formulate how to get it done. I just gave up on it.
Right.
It was bad.
But that happens a lot. Like I end up like starting a video and sometimes I'll work on it for a while, like a day or two, and then I'll just throw it out. I'm like, okay, this isn't good. this is not how I wanted it to be. I'll just throw it out and that's it. And you know, then I make something else. But yeah, creative block is hard. That's definitely something you struggle with a lot. I don't have a good answer for getting over it either. That's the problem. You just have to like step away for a little bit and then you can come back fresh.
Yeah, especially with a game like Final Fantasy XIV. I mean, that is technically the main point of this, although obviously this topic branches way beyond that. You know, we do actually, compared to a lot of things, we actually do get updates fairly frequently. We get news, we get interviews, we get live letters, we get patches, we get sub patches, we have lore, we have new releases on all sorts of things. But even with all of that, Slyh knows this very well. Producing a weekly podcast is sometimes more of a curse than it is a blessing. And that's once a week.
I don't know. Yeah. What are we doing?
You probably have that like very often. Like
very often.
I don't know.
And we have to think of things and we've had this conversation many times before where it's like we get a show the day of the show.
Yeah.
Like the day, like either the morning of he'll hit me up on Twitter or it'll be like he's hitting me up for pre-show. What are we talking about? This. All right. I'll have a little time to look up everything and all right.
I'm good.
Yeah, Larry, you got like more of a heads up than I give Slyh most of the time.
Yeah, I had like over a week. I was like, oh yeah, sure. Let me write that on my calendar so I don't forget when this is.
That's why I DM'd you yesterday. I was like, I haven't spoken to Larry since on stream. I remember him saying fine, but I don't. Is it fine?
Is it still fine?
Is it still fine?
But same thing with streaming too. Is like sometimes like I'll turn on stream and I'm like, I want to play 14, and then I'll get on. I'm like, what do I do?
That's a curse from us playing too much, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a problem too. Which is also something go ahead.
No. Yes, I was go.
Okay. Which is also something that I was thinking of, like back when I first started YouTube. I wanted to make 14 videos, of course, which is why I started it. And then I was like, I also want to make videos of other games, and I also want to stream other games and stuff, and I want to eventually branch out to just play everything. But then I realized I kind of like having 14 as like a backbone of like, you know, if I don't know what other games I want to play, I could just go back and play 14. And, you know, for streaming, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I want to play today. I'll just play 14. And I think that's actually really good.
And that brings up a good question. Do you feel like, because you are known mainly as a 14 content creator, do you feel held held within just 14, and it's kind of hard to
absolutely. Yeah. That's a problem too, is like it's always difficult to branch out for Twitch, for YouTube, for everything from the game that you built yourself around. But I've also come to realize that there's two sides of that coin, because if you look at other people that are just stream variety and that's it, they run into their own problems of like, I don't know what to play today, or I don't know, what game should I play? They don't know. And it's good to have that game that you could fall back to for 14. Right. So I don't know. It's difficult both ways.
There's a pro and a con. I know, like, I've been doing Devil May Cry 5 nonstop for the past like 4 or 5 days. But every day I look and I go, maybe I should just do like a couple hours of 14 today and then play this.
Right.
And that's the thing, because I almost like feel like I need that sort of mental boost of like something so familiar and something I'm like so well in tuned with over the years to then let me break off and want to like feel comfortable jumping into something else at the same time.
Yeah, because like if it's your job and you're worried about your income for it, it's like, okay, if I just do variety only, I'm gonna get much less viewers than if I just played 14. So that's a worry, of course. But you're like, but I really want to play this game. I really want to play this other game that's not 14. I think people would enjoy it. And I find that I've been enjoying just sometimes going over to other games and then always coming back to 14 and still doing that. And I think I'm okay with that. I like that.
Yeah, that always feels fine, because Final Fantasy XIV content creation is a huge beast in its own.
Yeah.
And sometimes just not having to think about specifically Final Fantasy XIV content creation, like that's why more recently I just do a lot of news. News is something everyone always wants to talk about. Everyone's always wondering, and for some reason nobody wants to use the lodestone. I don't know why. I go there.
Well, I think personally, I watch a lot of your news videos too, and I think the reason is I like to hear your opinions on it that you throw in along with it.
If you say so.
I literally, like, sometimes, like, I do read the lodestone, of course, and I read the patch notes and everything, but I'll still go and watch your patch notes reading just to have something on, like, while I'm doing something else, because I'll just hear like other opinions about it that maybe I didn't think of when I just expand my knowledge of the game by listening to more people talk about it, essentially.
Yeah.
So I think yours is really good for that.
That's why I like to talk about it in the first place. I always say my opinion doesn't matter. I say that because everyone's like, what do you think? And I go,
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. And they go, no, I want to know. And I'm like, why? It's not like it's going to make it happen. Although some people seem to think that when I say something, like, it's going to happen. And I'm like, no, I don't know.
There has been a lot of Hap Jesus, so it's fair to say that it's...
Because if Square Enix is anything, they're most of the times predictable with 14. It's something people talk about in both a positive and negative connotation. Because it's great to always know, hey, this 3.5 months, I'll have this exact content. In this time in between, I'll have this content. Oh, there's something new. All right, well, I'll keep my schedule open to see how that turns out. You know, that consistency that's there is great. It's also great for content creation.
I was just gonna say that. That means for content creation, it's really good because you can expect when a new patch is coming out. You're like, okay, I can make a video on the new dungeon. I can make a video on the new EX primal. I can make a video on the new raid that came out. You already know ahead of time what you need to plan out when the new patch comes out.
So, and highlights of early raiding, I've started to see a lot of merit in as well. It's kind of rough because a lot of these types of video ideas, for someone who's new to content creation, they don't necessarily generate a lot of buzz. I say the best way to get in is you either make something super funny, like Larry, or you make something on everything. One person that I've been following very closely because they make a video on literally everything, and it's doing really well for them, is Mioni. I don't know if you know who Mioni is. He does that. He makes videos on everything. He's a super reliable source. And that's been an insanely good thing. Yes. So I've been bringing him up a lot more because that's one way. That's a perfect example of somebody who went from not having much of a following to just creating as much content as he possibly could.
Yeah.
And it's slowly but surely, more and more people know. And if you don't know, you're going to know soon. If you're listening to this, like, who the hell's that? You're going to know. You're going to know soon. Because he's going to be an incredibly reliable source on everything.
Yep. He makes videos on minions that come out, glamours that come. He made a video on the cloud hair that came out and just like showcasing it.
Because
and he does
people want to see that.
Exactly. And he does it like he'll show it on all different characters. He'll show it at all angles. And it's like, oh, wow. That's so interesting.
It's something that's highly in demand. The way your character appears in this game is one of the most valuable things. People always say glamour is end game.
Yeah.
So why isn't it YouTube content too? It is.
It is.
And it's something that is very useful to a lot of people. Every time you go to a Reddit post, hey, does anyone have pictures of the new this, of the new that? Hey, this guy's got a video for every fucking item that comes out. It's so useful. It's an awesome resource. So, exactly. Shout out to him, by the way.
Shout out to Mione.
Shout out to Mione.
Also a soothing voice. Yes, that's also important for videos like that.
Yeah, my voice sucks. I don't know how the fuck you guys listen to that. I hate every time I finish a recording, I'm like, why does it? Because I'm like, oh, it sounds like this. Yeah. Towards the end, it like trails off, and I'm like, I sound like I hate everything.
I hate listening to my own voice too in editing. And
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, and when you're editing, you're going over it like billions of times in a row. So you're like, oh, I really don't like this.
You wanted some fun? Mel, I forgot when she tweeted this. Mel said, listening to Mike record is driving me insane. Because he just can't get his intro right for this one video. And I've had to hear, hey guys, Mr. Happy here through the door like 50 times.
Me too. Like I'll be like doing something and I'll walk out to go grab a water or something, and I was like, were you just talking to yourself or am I crazy? I'm like, yeah, I was recording. It's so awkward.
Slyh, you live on your own, right?
Yeah.
All right, you've someone saved from that review. You know what you do? Set up a microphone in another room, right? And just record yourself and then go and listen to what you sound like through a wall. And you'll be amazed at like how different it is.
It's pretty funny.
I feel like she's done something like that to me before.
No, I think I've had somebody like be here while I was recording something, and they were wondering. It was like one of my nieces, and she was wondering. She actually, while I was recording it, she came to my doorstep at like right here in my man cave and whatnot, and she was just watching, and I had to stop the recording because it kind of irked me for a second. I'm like,
yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I said the same thing like 5 times. I'm like, I'm recording. So,
yeah, I can't do it if I know somebody's like listened to me in that way. I get so annoyed about it. I just get so self-conscious. I'm like, I'm going to be recording this. I'm going to be repeating the same lines like 5 times in a row, like multiple times. So it's just how it is.
So I had the opposite experience once. So this is a long time ago. So I went to Insomniac Game Studios at one point before they rebooted Ratchet and Clank. The
what?
like, yeah, I went there. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I played some great games while I was there. One of them was the Ratchet and Clank, before it came out. Which by the way, I really liked that game. Anyway.
I fucking love Ratchet and Clank. I love Insomniac. What the?
Yeah,
I want to go.
They had some VR game that was called. It was like a dueling magicians game. It's my favorite VR game to this day, but it was PvP only. Where you like hold a book to cast spells and stuff. I forget what it's called. It's either Unspoken or something along those lines. And one game they had was a third person VR game, which is weird. They're like, you're the VR, but you're the camera controlling the guy. So like when he picks up something to read it, you're like, hey, what are you reading? You're like over your shoulder. But it was a horror game. And my first reaction was to act like a streamer, but I forgot I was in a room full of other media. Yeah. So I still acted exactly the same as I would have acted on stream. And I took the VR headset off and everyone's just staring at me. Like literally standing up. I was just like,
oh, shit.
I'm sorry, was I loud? Nobody wanted to stop me. And see, I have the opposite reaction. When other people are in the room, I ham it up more.
I have that problem when I like go over a friend's house sometimes, and like if you play a game that's like a couch co-op or something, like Mario Party, for instance.
Oh God.
You're like
it's like you're recording or streaming it. Yeah.
I'm just in that mode. Like that's the problem. Like I was talking about like before we started too. I don't know how to turn work off sometimes. Like I'll be just playing any video game, regardless if I'm streaming or not. I'm just like I'm in that mode where like I need to be entertaining. I need to voice what I'm saying, voice what I'm thinking.
No, voice what you're saying. That's still accurate.
Voice what I'm saying and thinking. So yeah, I don't. It's difficult. It changes you.
Chat brings up that every time I get really angry with like an enemy not cooperating, I go, "Sir,
yeah,
sir." But I do that at like random other times, and people are like, "Who is he talking to?
Who's sir?
Which sir? Not madam? No, just sir." It also doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. I literally just say sir.
Sir.
I don't have another word, but it like leaks into the rest of my life. You know what really leaked into the rest of my life? And 14 is a big problem for this for me. When I'm fucking messaging people in emails and I type /p before the fucking mess. You know how many times I've typed /p or /l before sending somebody a message? Do you know how many times that's happened?
One with /p? Have you actually sent?
Yes, one? I've sent them with the /p.
Oh my god.
They're not even in my party. I don't know why I would go there. They're not in my FC. They're not in my links shell. I don't know why I'm doing it.
We're not even in the game right now.
Not even in the game, and I can't stop myself from doing it.
That's funny.
You know what does that? I don't have a default setting for my typing. I literally type out every single one. So like I default say and I type /p/fc. I don't have a default. So I'm so used to typing all of them. Because that way I know I'm not sending the message to the wrong person if I don't have a default.
Yeah. I swap it. Like I'll do /p enter and then I'll be locked in the party. Or I'll do /fc enter and then I'll be locked in FC. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Alt P, Alt H. No, I type them. I don't do that.
I type it also, but I hit enter to lock it in.
There's one video on my channel has like I wrote text on the screen and it says /p. I know there's one because I remember releasing it and not changing it.
Like so, you caught it during the edit. You're like,
no, I caught it after the edit. I went through the edit, didn't see it, and then saw it when it was uploaded to YouTube. And I'm like, I'm not fixing that. I'm not fixing it.
Make an annotation or anything? Explaining?
You can't do annotations anymore. Thanks, YouTube.
Not only can you not do them, they got rid of them on all videos.
Yeah, they're just gone.
Yeah, they said that because mobile can't use them, and 90% of their traffic is on mobile. So
now, like really old, like those older videos, like I used to use like Khan Academy and stuff to learn math. They would have lots of annotations, like correcting things. So now they're just not going to be corrected. They're just going to be wrong.
I used to do that on guides. If I like forgot something, messed something up, but just add an annotation, be like, I misspoke here, or I forgot to mention this, or nope, it's just gone. It's got to go in the comment section or the description, and no one gives a shit about either of those.
Yeah. And
man, as much as this is supposed to be content creation 14, it is refreshing to just talk about it in general.
It is. Yeah, I find that too, that like talking to like other content creator friends is very refreshing to be able to just vent a little. I do it with Drac all the time because we live like really close to each other now, so I could just like see him in person all the time, and we just vent about shit all the time. It's great.
Sly, we'll get you in because now, actually, I mean, Sly, you've been doing a lot of work on the Twitch side of things. We have been focusing on the YouTube side of things, but your Twitch side of things has really picked up. I remember when there was a couch behind you, and you were sitting on a couch.
There's still the couch behind there, but
you know, Sly, I liked your streams before you had the green screen. I liked them better when you had the couch.
Way to make him feel like you just invalidated all of his work, all of his effort to appear more professional.
I miss those old streams. Sly's different now. That's
he still has beer. He still has beer in March.
That's the truth. That is the truth. I don't know how many times I missed the couch. I missed the couch. Oh my god!
Why don't you just put it? You have a green screen. Just put a couch behind. Literally, here's what you do: take the green screen down, take a picture of your own couch, and background, and then just put it behind you.
Like you did with The Rock?
Yeah. Which I can't do right now because I don't have a green screen. I got rid of it when we moved because it was falling apart, and I haven't bought the new one.
Yeah.
And so I can't. Dwayne's gone. Dwayne's just gone. The only Dwayne I have left is my cat, and Dwayne is his second name. It's not even his middle name. Aloha Dwayne the Cat Johnson.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great when we read it to the insurance people. Anyway.
What's their name? Aloha Dwayne the Cat Johnson.
His exact response was, "Really?" There you go. Good times. So with Final Fantasy XIV, with Final Fantasy XIV and content creation, we've spoken about. I've talked a little bit more about why I do kind of the informational videos, but Larry, you have a great deal more work behind your videos. I'll be honest, it's a great deal more work.
They do take a while.
And so I thought it would be valuable to people who might be interested in creating, whether you want to consider it machinima, comedy, whatever it is you might consider it. What the creative process looks like for you. For me, for general videos, it's very simple. Guides are completely different beasts, which we could talk about in a little bit. But for you, how do you, A, get started, B, get everything together, and C, get it done? 3 gets.
Well, First, I have everybody yelling at me, when's the next Basically video? That's the first step. And then I say, no, I don't want to, and no, I don't feel like it. That's the next step. Then I make a Basically video that isn't like my other Basically videos and actually informs people. That's the next step. But I don't know. So like I'll have an idea. And I have an idea book. And I've had this idea book since I started, actually. And I've used it always. So and my phone too, I have the stylus on my phone. So like if I have an idea, like sometimes I'll be going to bed and I'll just wake up again. I'll be like, oh, I have to write this down, and then I'll go back to sleep. So whenever I have an idea, I write it down immediately so that I don't forget it. So that helps. Then when I'm ready to make the video, I have like usually I'll have like general outlines of what I want to be in there, and like bullet points and stuff, like different kinds of things. Like for instance, for a Basically video, I'll just have bullet points of all the facts about the job that I want to convey in the video, and then I'll try to write like a loose script. So I'll have like a bunch of lines for a loose script. Then I'll make a real script, and then I usually don't fully stick to that when I record it. Then I go into recording, and then I'll have like a couple days of just recording, just flat getting footage. And that usually takes a while because you got to get the right stuff that you want. So you'll have an idea in your head, like, oh, I want this to happen for this certain scene. So like, okay, sometimes that certain thing is difficult to get. So you have to take a while to get that certain thing. So then after I get all the footage, then I'll start editing the footage together. I'll start recording the lines. I have a mix of recording my voice during the recording, and then I have recording my voice in the editing. So, and I'll mix that in together. And then after I get I'll cut it up, and I'll have like a general flow. This is very difficult to say out loud. I'll have like a general cut up timeline of everything that's supposed to happen. And then after that, then I go through and I start cleaning it, getting all the right timings in, and then I'll start adding music. I'll start adding sound effects. I'll start adding all the polish, I guess. And then within this, I end up watching it a billion times over to make sure all the timing and everything is right, because timing matters so much. And yeah, that's mostly it.
Doesn't sound like a lot of work, Larry. Man, it sounds so easy.
It's easy. Storyboarding, yeah. Storyboarding is basically what I end up doing as well. Drac actually made a video about his process for his videos, and that explains very closely to what I do, except the script part. Like his videos aren't scripted. His videos are just the raids. So he everything before where he gets the raid footage is I do the scripting and the idea part, and then I do the recording.
Okay.
That's it. Easy.
Easy, he says.
Yeah.
It's so easy that what's your average release schedule for from an idea from start to execution?
A while. Whenever I have the idea and I think I can actually do it. I don't have a schedule anymore.
It's tough.
I've learned because when I was on a schedule, I was forcing myself to make stuff that I wasn't fully proud of. And so now I just want to make stuff that I want to make. That's all I do now. So if I release it, it's because I wanted to make it and I spent time doing it. So, and then pretty much I'll try to do it like, I'll try to have a decent schedule, where content just comes out at least, not wait too long, but because you don't want to go too long. Otherwise YouTube fucks you.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
YouTube algorithms are a big part of it. I've had to learn a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if so you ran into a demonetization issue, which we'll talk about after the Patreon call outs, which we'll be doing in about 5 minutes ish.
Sure.
Sly's heard this story maybe 2 or 3 times over, but I was getting demonetized for some pretty funny things thanks to EU FanFest. Vieira got demonetized, and I'm gonna wait till you're done drinking before I say why, because otherwise
I know because it thought it was Viagra.
I thought it was Viagra.
Yeah. I don't know where I heard that. I think that you said it on a State of the Realm before.
Oh yeah, I did. See, I don't know that you watch my stuff.
I watched that.
I don't assume that because I don't want to be that guy's like, what do you mean you didn't watch State of the Realm 198?
I know. Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah,
I consume a lot of 14 content. So,
see, I just consume a lot of everything, food included. Yeah. So it's just like
I just consume.
I'm just all consuming with everything. Yeah, I mean, that's watching other Final Fantasy 14 streamers and content creators is a big part because seeing what's working, but also trying, like, you don't want to mimic somebody, but you want to mimic their work ethic is a big thing. So if you see like a degree of consistency working or a demand for, something you may have deemed may not be worth your time, then all of a sudden you have to reevaluate what's important when you're actually creating content. This is kind of more on the serious end. I mean, we covered earlier, when you want to make something, you got to just make it, That's kind of where it all gets started. That's where most people seem to kind of be afraid to get started.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
See, I like Sly's setup where, Slyh, your setup is actually the setup I would have preferred to have going in, where I do have something that's steady, and then I do this. I lost my job and then just poured time into this because I didn't have my job anymore because Vodafone decided to fire 2/3 of the company when they bought the place that I worked at. So, thanks, Vodafone. You got me here. Anyway.
I had a job and I was doing it. I was full-time job. Then I was doing this at the same time and pretty much putting like full-time hours in. And then I went part-time job and still full-time hours here. And then eventually I just cut out the job part. So that's what I did.
I mean, that's kind of the dream. That's what Slyh, you were just talking about it earlier. I mean, that's the dream is to go from situation A to situation B as named right there.
Yeah.
And you're getting there, Slyh.
I'm getting there. My owner keeps asking me when I'm giving my 2 weeks. It gets annoying because he's like, I'm one of the rare cases where I have a owner / manager who like know what I do and they knew early on. And this was kind of before I got partnered, and then I got partnered, and then they started asking, well, you're leaving, right? No, I need this job. I'll have the money. Thank you. I'm not leaving. Thank you very much.
They're like, oh, you're like Ninja, right? You make you make $1 billion every stream. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave, right?
And it got to the point where like a couple months after partner, and we knew I was serious about it. I got advancement in the job, but at the same time, I got a lot more serious into streaming. And they knew that, so they offered me a remote position. And it was really considerate, and that's probably the rarest occasion for most people to like who are streaming to have, who has someone who believes in what you're doing, and like they believe in your work ethic and everything at the job you have right now, and they're trying to help you achieve your goals, even though it's not for them. So
that's awesome.
I'm truly blessed.
Yeah, that's actually really, really cool.
Yeah, you know what happened at my job when I told them that I was going to start doing this? Before, like, the week before they let me go, I was like, yeah, you know, I guess I'll just do some YouTube video stuff. And he was like, don't waste your time on that shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Don't listen to people like that.
Exactly.
You motivated me, Haney. That was his name, Haney.
Thanks, Haney.
Thanks, Haney. You motivated me. He's a programmer. You know? He was just like, don't do that. Like he's a big Italian guy. He's a good guy.
In Jersey?
Yeah. No, New York actually, because I worked in New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lived in Jersey, worked in New York.
Right.
As internal tech support. Have you tried turning it off and on again? No?
All right, do that.
Why the fuck are you here?
Try that first, then come back.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're getting about to the approximate halfway. We don't really know exactly how far the show is going to go, how long the show will go. Don't worry, Larry. It won't take a crazy amount of your time.
12-hour stream. Let's go.
I think we die. Yeah, it's episode 200. That's how we celebrate. Surprise! 12 hours, State of the Realm. Dude, when Frosty did that for his, 100th, I was like...
Oh, my God.
I was on that show, and I was like, Frosty, just Godspeed, man.
I remember that one.
God fucking speed, man. But one thing that we have to stop and do, and we started doing this because, we didn't want to wait till the end and make it seem like they didn't matter, is we thank people on Patreon who help support all that YouTube content that we do. Especially some of the ambiguous stuff makes me feel more comfortable to go and do stuff like, Devil May Cry stuff here and there. And it also helps fight the Viagra problem that we're having with... Yeah,
it frees you up to be more creative that way and not worry about ads.
Sly like the Viagra problem. He's like, listen, my monetization, I just can't get it up. There you go. That's it. I can't get my monetization up. So that's the problem right there. Okay. So anyway, on that note, we get to thank our Patreon sponsor. Out of context, that's going to be great. I sure hope you guys are paying attention before and totally don't take that entirely out of context with no sort of recognition of what the topic was actually about. So thank you to our Patreon sponsors for supporting us through #demonetized, because this video will probably be joining that list very shortly. We have our patrons of light. I can't even speak now. We have our patrons of light. Khuja Cross on Jenova and Kurenai Oni, who have gone above and beyond in their support. They always provide images. This one is for Khuja Cross, and then we have
beautiful.
Kurenai. Do I still have the picture of the cat? Oh, I forgot it. Where's the picture of the cat?
It's Muhammad.
I knew you'd like that. I need the picture of the cat. Oh, fuck, where's the cat? I hid the picture last time. Why don't I have it now?
It's on Twitter.
No, you know what it was? I pulled it up on a thing. I window captured it. That's what it did. Well, all the same, thanks Kurenai and Khuja for being our patrons of light. We also have our long list of State of the Realm sponsors. In particular, we have Itsumi God, I can't say names. Itsumi Amarillo of Gilgamesh, Ravik, Quard Drakens from Famfrit, Sigurd Drake from Balmung, Edgefair on Ultras, Jerica, Emma, Narek of Clan Vizsla, Chris Uzuki, Crazy Meter from Midgar, Rajaventinus from Cactar, Carol, Ray, Senchi, Shadowlink on the Tonberry server, Dom, Asuka Wake from Jenova, Limilla Nelhah of Midgard Summer, Serren the Fennel Family, Janhyua Yotsuyu, Kifca and the Great Eagles on Exodus, Kat Aoshi from Kujata, Skia Symphonia from Ragnarok, Rylanator Westaus The Purple Warrior, Eadric Redsteele on Exodus, Lexxie Valentine, Mantaru the Rivivus FC from Zodiark, Sour Cream Tribes from Jenova, Rynoet Chikara, Valefar of Siren, Phoenix Down FC on Goblin, and Serren from Zodiark. We also have our elite State of the Realm sponsors. We have Vapatiyama from Diablo, Shadow Ari of Brynhildr. I can see my Twitch chat right now. Zerafire of Coral, Alchemy, Shinka, Casual Heroes FC on Midgard Summer, Tatachak on Hyperion, Kanezuki from Jenova, Ustarla on Coral, Sathal, Serafrost from Behemoth, Holy Tabasco, Crass015, Serenity FC on Ultras, Kat Kazuma, Ignis Vanguard from Excalibur, Valestra of Famfrit, Not Quarters from Excalibur, Crofus Moonscar, Private Mikey, Nana Kirisami, Rudy Rudiger, Killer Hackman, Rawl Jr., and Kiltastic Jones. Thank you to our Patreon sponsors.
Thank you, everyone.
You're so fast.
I'm a bit of a rap god. Yeah.
Damn.
I can do most of Rise. The Alexander song. I can do most.
I just read something in chat that's cursed.
Now I gotta find it though. Auctioneer, Cunninlingus.
Yeah, you must be really good at it because you can talk so fast.
Yeah, I can do rap god, but I always forget like one or two words in it. And also, repeating Eminem lyrics on Twitch is generally a bad idea. 98% of the time, you don't want to do that.
You get demonetized.
Would not recommend karaoke for an Eminem song on Twitch Sings. Would not recommend it. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, that's been another really fun topic. And I think that's probably the thing people know most about YouTube right now is issues with advertisers. So I want to start this by saying, when you start creating content, this should not be even a thought. If you're looking at that and saying that makes me not want to make content, I'm not convinced you really wanted to make the content in the first place. Because when I started, I made pennies. Literal 50 views, 70 views. I had one like crappy Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix video where like I fought a boss that had 300 views, and it was like,
nice.
That was how I got started, because I wanted to make those things. And that was the only reason. So if this conversation that's about to happen is between us, but don't let it influence you at all. It's just that Larry had a very unfortunate circumstance, and you've heard my Viagra situation for the third time now. We're gonna talk about it briefly, because this is something with YouTube and Final Fantasy XIV in particular, because we have great creative minds like Larry. We have very easy to make content, like easy to find the content, doesn't really require much forethought. People like me. No, it's honest, because like something new happens, so I make a video on it. It's simple.
Yeah, but you have the work ethic to do it.
That's true, but I don't need to sit there and come up with a plot.
That's true.
Or a storyboard. I just need to accept this is how this thing is. I need to say how this thing is. Right. And what my perception is on it. So I'm just calling it for what it is. Okay? You gotta be honest about these kind of things. And I forgot what I was talking about because of that.
I'm sorry.
It happens all the time, don't worry. We're talking about demonetization. Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of the times I find when we have people who are more like Larry, and I see it more because I see everyone simultaneously, is that sometimes a creative mind wants to use something that doesn't necessarily like belong to you, but it's like so sparingly that you think, oh, that'll be fine. And
or it's so integral. It's so important to get what your vision was that you need to use it.
Yes.
That happens too. Like basically Bard. I had Hey Now, You're an All-Star, that song in the beginning. And I'm like, this is gonna get demonetized, but I want it in the video. It has to be in the video. So I put it. I had Smash Mouth in the Bard video. So
how did I forget that? I've seen that video.
It needs to be there. So I left it.
They got demonetized, yeah.
Yeah, for like 10 seconds. Not even. It's like a 10-minute video, whatever it is, and 5 to 10 seconds of it is All-Star, and they own all of it. So they got my penny.
When you said Smash Mouth, just all the memes I've seen of that just poured into my brain at once.
I'm sorry.
Somebody made a mashup of that in like one of the Ariana Grande songs, and it goes way too well to the song, and it's just it makes and Shrek and just too many things.
I love them.
Yeah, I would maybe at some point.
Yeah, it's definitely discouraging when you put a lot of work into something and then you
somebody else owns it. Yeah. It's not even just that it gets demonetized. They in terms of the way YouTube processes it, it's as if they own the video.
Yeah, they own it.
They'll see everything for that video and you won't.
Yeah,
pretty much. You'll see the view count. You'll see the likes. Great. You could remove it if you wanted to. But other than that, they're like, well, thank you for making this for us.
Right.
And that's pretty much how it works. Yeah, because of that, one thing I always can tell people to look at if they're doing 14 content, the music in the game, other than a couple of tracks, is mostly okay. It's only like answers, dragon songs, revolutions. Like those are the kind of things you want to keep kind of off YouTube if you can, at least in their like raw form. If they're part of a fight encounter, it actually changes a little bit, you know, like Bahamut or Nidhogg or anything like that.
Right.
But one of the things I looked at is always, one day I sat down and I just Googled a ton of copyright-free music. If I don't care if it was like paid licensing or anything like that. It's more professional setting, but like finding stuff that's safe to use but can still fit your creative needs is something that I found was immensely important, as much as it may not have been what I wanted. Like, so I want the Jeopardy theme for Aerzivia. I can't use the Jeopardy theme for Aerzivia.
No.
So I had to find like a random ass quiz theme to play when Ethis does that, and I don't know how I found it, but after a while I found it. Yeah. And I don't know how much that troubles you, if you even consider going down that route versus.
Oh, I do. I do that also. I have I'm with Curse. Well, I don't think they're called Curse anymore. Union for Gamers.
Union for Gamers, yeah.
Yeah. They have a
library.
They have that library. I use that. But I don't know. Sometimes like I'll just be like, I really want this song, and I just use it. but that's because of things like Patreon and Twitch, and I could be comfortable doing that because I don't need the YouTube ad revenue. I don't need it to work. So I could just make whatever I want it to make, and I could make the vision that I have and put it out there, and it could be that's it. But there's also the worst kind, which is what I ran into, was with the Ice Mage video that I just made with the Hero Academia clip. And I just had this idea. I was like, he's kind of like a black mage that just wants to use ice spells. So I just basically took the clip, the anime episode, and I just chopped it up into like the scenes that I needed, and I just subtitled it with custom subtitles, and I put the job icons on all of their heads, and that took forever. Keyframing every single movement of job icons over their heads to follow everything that they're doing takes forever. It took me like 2 days straight to make this video. I'm like, okay, it's literally just the anime episode. I'm not going to get it monetized. I'm not even going to bother putting ads on it. I know it's just going to get demonetized. So I'm like, okay, I'll just upload it and that's fine. That's it. But I went to go put it up there and it was just flat out blocked. It just made it completely not even visible at all. I was so mad. I was so angry. And so I tried doing like a bunch of different things. I tried editing it. I tried blasting music over the entire thing so that you couldn't even hear it. You couldn't even hear anything that they were saying. And it still somehow picked it up. I don't know how. Maybe it knew the episode or something visually. I don't know. But I ended up just putting it up on Twitter because
that's YouTube where I watched it.
Yeah. I just put it up on Twitter and Twitch, and YouTube just impossible. Couldn't even be viewed.
I think I've heard about that once or twice. I think I remember Angry Joe having a situation like that for one of his reviews.
Yeah.
Because he tweets about getting fucked by YouTube like every video. Every video is like, well, I've got eight claims here. Time to dispute all those.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, so Godspeed, man. God fucking speed. Sorry.
I wasn't even planning making any money from it. I was just like, I just want to make this and just put it up because I think it's really cool. I think it's a fun little silly idea that I had. I really just want to make it. And so I couldn't even do that.
Sly, I have a question. Did you run into any issues using XSkull Give It To You for...
Oh, I knew it was going to get demonetized. Like, I knew.
Okay.
So it's demonetized?
Yeah.
It's XSkull Give It To You, so... DMX don't have much else to make him money nowadays, so he's gonna need this video pretty bad.
Yo, 1.6 million views. You get quite a bit of revenue on that. You would have made quite a bit.
Theoretically.
But there's no way you could have known that. So
no, I knew. Like I knew.
I was like, it's gonna be a 2 million views.
No, yeah, you couldn't have known it was gonna be 1.7 million views.
Oh,
yeah.
No, you knew you were getting demonetized. You didn't know it was gonna be that popular.
I knew that. The funny, like, but what's odd is when I started doing Shin Megami Tensei Saturdays, when I started doing Shin Megami Tensei If, I got demonetized. I keep getting demonetized every time because there's a certain song that happens every time you go into a hub world or a new dungeon and go into town. And they demonetized me for like part of the soundtrack, which it is, like it is, but you have to explain that like this is not like the arranged, this is actually in the game. And I have to type that out every time when I have to appeal it. Like this is in the game. And they toss it out, of course. But it's annoying to have to do that for every Shin Megami Tensei, almost every Shin Megami Tensei video I do, because you know, music's known.
People are treating me Smash Mouth memes. Damn it.
Good.
What about spaghetti?
Oh, they combine them.
Yeah, no,
that's combining memes.
That's generally how all Smash Mouth memes work.
Yeah.
You take Smash Mouth and you put it to something else, and it ruins your childhood, pretty much.
Yay.
Yeah, I was curious about that, Slyh, because I was pretty sure you were going to run into issues with it. And see, I take the overly cautious route. Even if I have a creative idea, I try to work it within like the boundaries of YouTube's weird, not even weirdness, but strictness.
Yeah.
And it always ends up making me want to work on like certain ideas less. Because like I was like, okay, I'll make this, whatever, it's done. But if I keep getting demonetized for having the word blood when the name of the game is Bloodborne, I'm probably going to stop making Bloodborne.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if all of my income was just reliant on what I made from YouTube ads, it would completely stifle your creative, what you can creatively do. So it's good to have the multiple revenue streams so that you can make what it is you want to make and not have to worry about it.
But first, you should just make the things you want to make. Because if you don't know if people, like, a lot of people worry about how much other people want to see. I'd say one of the biggest questions with 14 is, how do I get more viewers? How do I get people to watch my videos more? How do I do this? And I'm like, just keep making it and keep making it good.
Yeah.
Make something people find valuable, you know? Not everyone's going to like it. Not everyone's going to care. But if I had that answer, I wish I could just harness it into something that just was astronomical.
There's no just like set of rules that'll just like set of steps rather that'll just get you to, you know, be a YouTuber or be a Twitch guy or whatever, Twitch streamer.
Content creator.
That's
a better term. YouTuber is not a great term right now.
No, it's not.
And Twitch streamer is exclusive to one platform when you could be streaming on other platforms.
Yeah, content creator.
There you go. That's the safe one. Or the industry calls us influencers.
I don't like that word.
You don't believe it?
It's so I think it sounds so negative, which I know it's not, but it sounds negative to me. Influencer. I'm influencing you.
You don't think that, you know, your videos have kind of sway over you know, the people who view them? Like,
oh no, they definitely do. Like for instance, like people all the time will be like, oh, I saw your videos and I got the game. I'm like, that's awesome. That's perfect. That's like why I make these things. Like just to put back into the community and everybody just gets back and grow the community even more and more. And that's awesome. And that's definitely, we are influencers in that way. I just think it sounds so weird. We're an influencer. I don't know.
Well, a company has to kind of justify why they would, I guess, work with you.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. This is just something I've noticed from general industry because I've heard the term a great many times. And it's because to the reason most companies will work with you is because you have, even if it's not deliberate, it's just people value what you say. There's nicer ways to put it. But that is the nice way to put it is people respect what you have to say. and what you think about things. That's the right, but the term that the industry uses is influencer. Because that's your value, that's their ROI. That's how that's logistically how they have to justify things is through ROI. Free advertise or not, or free, paid, whatever. It's advertisement.
Right.
Direct to consumer.
We advertise 14 so much.
We sure do.
Yeah, we sure do.
And I love that about it. I love that someone can come in and ask what I think about something, and and that matters to them, because I don't think it matters to them. I'm like, this doesn't matter to you, and they're like, no, I need to know, and I'm like, but why? But why though? Like, what am I saying? Like, I don't understand. I don't know how I'm,
because you're
affecting the outlook that other people have. I suppose
you're knowledgeable about the game,
but how does that change that? Like, I understand if they don't know something and they need to know it, but if they think something and I think something, the idea that my thought will almost overwrite theirs, like change their mind, kind of like people do that a lot. Like, I think this, what do you think? Wow, when you put it that way, that sounds, never mind, I changed my mind.
Because it's a very informed opinion.
There you go.
I don't know. It's still just a thought. For me, it's just, I just think things. I don't think it's important.
And it's weird because it's like a little bit of bias because we've been playing the game for so long, but it's not, because you're getting our honest opinion on it. There are some things we like and some things we don't give a fuck about. And we'll tell you.
Like crafting.
Yes. I mean, yes to not giving a shit, but yes. Sorry. I'm not very passionate about crafting or glamour. Dude, it's been almost 6 years. I still don't have the esthetician unlocked.
I've never done any crafting, so I don't even have a lot of them unlocked.
There you go.
The only time I miss it is when I have to ask my friends to meld for me, like over melds.
Yeah, but you're not crafting.
Yeah,
their effort is for your benefit.
Yeah, thanks. I didn't do any work. Just, you can meld this for me, please.
Dude, I gotta level them myself. Having someone else do it takes so fucking long.
Yeah.
You know what you do? You unequip everything, and the only item you want to meld, then that's your only thing in the equipped menu, so you don't need to click them.
Yeah, it's so many clicks, though. Even doing that, it's still a lot of clicks. And you have to do it every single time. It's terrible.
Where's retry? Or where's the retry button?
It's absolutely terrible.
Please. Need retry button. Keep me in a menu. I don't care. Just give me a retry button. I need it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's a lot of things with content creation too, where like features in the game that you really want that just don't exist. Like the duty recorder. When they announced that, I was like, "That's gonna be great. That's perfect. That's exactly what
we all thought."
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about the duty recorder. I'm not particularly enthusiastic about the duty recorder. That's the most politically correct way I can think to say it.
It's shit.
No, it's not though. That's
what do you mean?
It's really, no, I thought you said good shit.
No, it's shit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's the less political way to say it. I echo your sentiment.
Okay.
And then I don't have appreciation for other amazing content creation tools that are in the game. Like G-Pose.
Yeah, that's definitely used quite a bit by me. I use that a lot.
Yeah, there's no way you get half that shit without using it.
No, yeah.
There's some crazy shit in G-Pose that I didn't even think. If you had told me 2 years ago that feature would have all the things it has, I've been like, they'll never do all that. That's not a new raid boss.
It's pretty crazy.
Why are you working on G-Pose when I can have a 5th raid boss? That's totally how it works.
We kind of have a 5th raid boss. That's the thing.
Yeah, we do, kind of, yeah.
Like, everybody's like, oh, we want 5 fights per tier. I'm like, we kind of had that all of Stormblood. I don't know.
We did.
I mean, one of them is like
half.
Short. Yeah.
Dude, I'm not fucking Kifca and MNF. Those fucking fights are not short. That's like
MNF
8.5 minute fights.
MNF is long.
Kefka's like 7 minutes too. Kefka's like 7.5 minutes. Faust. I'm sorry, not Faust. I called him X-Faust, so it's X-Death. He's like 4 minutes. It's very intense, 4 minutes. But then the other ones are like, well, this is the equivalent of the first raid boss, but like way harder. Scary.
I like it that way.
I like it that way too. It means that if I really want to, I can make 2 videos out of it. But
that's what Dreg does. he just put out his O12S Part 1, and which is just MNF, and so he'll have another video for the final Omega fight.
And that's kind of one thing that boiled down, because one thing I haven't really talked about is guide making, because it's something I do still, but I don't do it the way I used to do it. It's not as integral as it used to be. I used to want to make guides for everything, and now I just want to like do some guides when some content's new. And I don't even want to make guides for some content. I don't like making guides for 2 things: the last fight in a raid tier and ultimate. And in case you haven't seen the Lucky Boncho census, that's why. Because nobody's fucking clearing it anyway. So I like to do discussion videos where I talk about like learning figuring it out on the fly, how we landed on a conclusion, ways that it can be improved. And it's like an hour and a half to do that. But I'd rather do that hour and a half discussion than actually discuss the guide itself. If there's anything I've learned about that last raid encounter, it always changes, like a week by week basis. And I hate making guides on it.
Exactly. Like if you put out like a final Omega guide when it came out, like there was no, what is it, Unreal, modified Unreal? Like there was Unreal and then modified Unreal, and like it's just reversed it. So like it's just completely changing. I think it's more timeless if you do it like that, where you just discuss it.
Yeah, because then I go, this will not be the strategy. Like the way we're doing this will not be the strategy in 2 weeks.
Right.
But you know why we did it. That's all that matters. So if you get to a different conclusion, great. If your way is easier, great. But this is why we did it this way.
Evergreen, where you could just explain what's happening in the fight versus you do the XXX, like this, and this.
I've been meaning. I never got not teleprompter, telestrator. What do they use in football? Sly, you would know better than I. What they draw on the screens and they point out the plays and shit.
I mean, it's just like
what's it called? Telestrator or something? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know the actual official name for it because
I don't know.
Yeah. Somebody in chat knows, and I'm sure I was hoping by the time you guys didn't know that they would have posted, and they haven't.
American football?
Yes. Or like any
annotator?
Annotator?
Annotator
That's
doesn't
what it is?
sound right.
A smartboard.
I mean, a smartboard is basically the
like
equivalent. It's the equivalent of a smartboard. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, telestrator. That was right. It's allows the operator to draw a freehand sketch over a moving or still video image. Yeah, that. I wanted to do straight up John Madden style guides. I've never gotten around to doing them because I never got a telestrator. Just because, hey folks, John Madden here, and in this fight we're gonna be learning 09. You know,
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it does sound fun. You literally just be like, I don't know what the fuck the tank's doing over here. You know, you should be over here where you're supposed to be. It's taking a while to get there. And it's
I did something kind of like that with I think it was Shinryu. I just drew it. I just drew it in MS Paint. Like I just explained how the fight went, but just
like draw my life.
Yeah.
Like draw my raid.
Yeah.
That's another good idea. Draw my raid.
Draw my raid.
Oh God. See,
this is when I take my phone out and I write it down. I'm like, let me just write that down.
See, I thought about that too for like a while back. Your idea, Mike, but what I wanted to do was have like an actual coach walk you through a raid, but you would have to walk the coach through your like all the terminology and everything. I'm like, I really want to do that.
Oh, you mean like someone who actually coaches?
Like
they
a
know
real
nothing.
I thought like of Dave Cutcliffe of Duke. I was like, what if he walked us through an actual fucking raid? That would be so fucking funny. But you'd have to teach him everything about 14.
Or what about that guy that people pay to record him saying stuff?
Oh God, the Fiverr guy. No, sorry, he used to be on Fiverr. He's not on Fiverr anymore. Yeah, no, Yeah, the train is the train is dead.
Yeah. Yes, that guy. Yeah. Have him do a guide.
That's gonna be an expensive video. His videos get very expensive very quickly.
Yeah.
But like, I think of all the like ways that we've done like week 1 strategies, and then like by the time I get around to doing the guide, a different one is there, but we're not like, I don't have footage of the new strategy. So like 011 Savage, we'll have like, when we did it, our paladin said it was I don't know why he said this. He said it was impossible, even with sprint, to outrun the AoE during Pantocrator 2, the one that like follows the person who's furthest away. And then our bard did it in 1 try without sprint. And and we memed on him so hard.
That's impossible.
He's like, dude, I'm running as fast as I can. And I'm like, you're clearly not running as fast as you can. If it's hitting, he's like, so I'm just gonna stand in the corner in hollowed ground away from everybody else.
Right.
And so like, I imagine doing like the John Madden, like, I don't know what the fuck Paladin's doing out here. Just send the bard out. It's not that hard, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. Like, but I never get around to doing those things. It's so hard to, I don't know. Motivation for ideas like that always like eventually just dissipate, and then I just end up talking about them on podcasts, and people are like, why aren't you doing that? And be like, I don't.
Yeah. I find that when I have an idea, I try and start making it right away. Like the Fat Cat video I put out recently was just the day that the Fat Cat was released, and we read the description. I was like, what? the Fat Cat mount description. I was like, what? So I just made a really quick video about it. I'm like, this is hilarious. I like this thing.
And Larry, you mentioned it earlier, but at what point, and Mike, this is kind of for you, what point do you kind of just toss the idea out and say, like, where's your stopping point, basically, of, hey, I can't do this idea? Right?
Sometimes, like, usually I'll start making it, and I'll just be like, this isn't coming out right. Like, you just feel it. You're like, this is shit. You just stop.
It sounds really good in like 10 seconds isolated away from like the whole video. Yeah. And then if I were to do a full John Madden guide to a fight, 8 minutes of that is gonna be fucking torture for me.
I don't think it'll end up. I think that could be like a 2 to 3 minute video.
Yeah, it would need to be like shit. Like, you have to assume everyone already knows everything. No one's actually going to learn anything from this video. But you still have to talk about every mechanic. You know, you're like, oh, you got a tank buster anyway. You don't even know that. But like, that's it. You know, everything else that's important, people are still expecting to see you, you know, interpret it in a way that's that way. Yeah. And there's a point where you're just like, you know, halfway through recording, maybe you've started grabbing footage, you know, but whatever it is, most of the time it's during the voice recording, you say it out loud and you're just like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You ever have anyone say, you know, always say something out loud before you, always read something out loud, like back in like high school, college, read your essays out loud before you turn them in. Was always something I was always told. It's pretty much the same with video, with content creation, because I think it, and I think it's really good, and I think it sounds good on paper, and then I start saying it, and I'm like, I'm so glad I started saying this before I actually, like, you just hit a point where you just know it's a bad idea.
That's why I write loose scripts. When I write scripts, I just write, like, points that I want to cover, because if I start writing a script word for word, it doesn't... if I try to read it, it just sounds really wrong. So I just always like just talk it out and just say something.
I write the script and then ignore it. Like, I just throw in other things. I'm just like, yeah.
By the way, at this point, so and so.
Yeah, it says I just literally throw shit in that was not in the script because it's too rigid for me otherwise. You know what I used to do? When I first started making videos, I was convinced that I didn't like editing, because I was doing like video of myself over like other stuff as I explained it, and if I did cuts, it just looked bad to me. So I was like, well, then I just have to do it all in one take. And every single video was a one take or a try over.
Oh no, because you didn't like seeing yourself get cut and split over to another moment like a few seconds later, and so you're you're like this, and then over here like this.
It was fucking terrible. One day I just said fuck it and just did it, and I was like, thank God I got over my stupid fucking problem that I was having.
Because it's a usual thing now. Everybody just cuts like that now.
Imagine if during the Patreon reading I mispronounced a name and I just started the whole fucking list over.
Yeah.
The only way that's fun is if I make a highlight clip of all my fuck ups. It's the only way that idea is fine. Dude, literally every time I'm recording and I screw something up, it's like, yeah, that's what it is. It's like, fuck. God damn it, get it right.
Stop doing mouth exercises.
and then because I need to invoke emotion, like the proper emotion for the video, I immediately go from fuck to. So for this next part, you're gonna complete change of tone to the way it actually works.
Grab the thing. The Bard has to grab the tether, bring it away from the party.
Yeah, it's like, oh fuck, why do I keep saying that? Fucking idiot. So for the next part, you're just gonna want to make sure that this goes.
Yeah.
Oh man, these are all things that anyone doing content creation should absolutely expect to experience, because there's a lot of emotions that go into it. A lot of emotions.
Also back to making things like evergreen.
What is that?
That definitely helped. Evergreen content?
I've never heard the term.
Evergreen content is content that's good always. You could watch it like a year later and it's still good.
I'm fucked then, because everybody, as soon as they update anything in 14,
right? So like news content, a lot of news content is not evergreen content. But for instance, like a comedy video, that could be an evergreen content because it doesn't matter when you watch it, you could get the enjoyment out of it, right? So like when I was making the which job to play video, I was worried about that in terms of like just explaining all the jobs really quickly without it being completely wrong when when Shadowbringers comes out. So like
that's why eventually you'll have basically 5.0.
Yeah, I could make a basically which job to play in Shadowbringers, but yeah. It's good to like try to keep that in mind too. Like also with the guide making is just not say specific strategies, but just how the fight works, what it does.
Or we did it this way.
Yeah,
but it's not the only way.
Right.
Dude, I remember I did a Reddit AMA, and someone asked me about, what happens when something is wrong in a guide, and people take it into the Party Finder, and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm that large an authority on guides anymore. And they went, you think that? You don't know how many times I go into the Party Finder and your name comes up, and I'm like, there's so many guide makers now. How am I the one that? Why me?
It's mainly you that comes up on the Party Finder. That's the thing.
Why? Miz has guides. Grail Gaming has guides.
Because like people want one central strat to everything, and by watching another guide that has like a different strat, it confuses the fuck out of people.
This is why Japan does it best. They get one strategy, they make a macro, it's done. All right?
They do have nice macros.
Dude, Keo, I did UCOB with him, and every day we started raiding, he just posted the JP macro.
Yeah.
That's it. And I was done. I was like, all right, we're done. That's it. I understand everything.
Yeah.
Everyone has positions. Yeah, you get shit like that, which popped up in Eureka. Attention, all Eureka gamers. Mr. Happy, the Sphia shared that in fucking State of the Realm a couple weeks ago. He needs your help to wipe out Proto-Ozma and the Baldessian Arsenal. To do this, he needs Fennet L and a couple of Dispel Ls. To help him, all he needs is your credit card number and 3 numbers on the back and the expiration month and date. By the way, it says expiration month and date, not month and year.
Yeah.
But you got to be quick so you can secure that clear and achieve the epic world FIRST.
I do find that document guides are usually a really good way to go when you're learning a raid, like a more difficult raid. But I also feel like a lot of people just really like to, like, for instance, even a dungeon. And dungeons, I don't think of never needing a guide, but a lot of people want a guide for a dungeon.
I learned that surprisingly when I went back and looked at a shit ton of really old videos that I haven't looked at in a long time. I was like, why in the fuck have 80,000 people seen this?
Yeah, like says Tasha.
People are starting at different times.
Yeah, but I just think to see, that's the problem when you've done that I run into when I've done content creation. When I did my guides early, I assumed everyone knew nothing in every video. Like, you'd never ever done anything before, even if it's the 4th fight in a fucking raid tier. I just assume you'd never done just anything in this game before.
Right.
And that's why they always got so long. But what's happened now is I assume people are just smart enough to recognize stack marker, room wide AoE, tank buster, tank swap. I'm not going to explain to you how those things work.
No. No.
But people want me to do that. They want me to explain it like that. They go, why don't you just talk about that part? Like, I don't get it. And I'm like, how long have you been playing? Oh, I'm new.
Fuck! See, that's the thing. You don't know.
Fuck!
No. Well, you're not new. You're level 70. You've seen this before.
Where do I take the stack marker? To the left!
I don't think you realize how many people have used a fucking jump potion.
But that's like, I still assume that people have, like, by level 70, if you've even just done level 60 to 70, I assume you've seen enough, like, random AoE markers or understood how tank busters work, or
you would think so.
But it's like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, go. I'm never gonna stop. Go.
And see, like, I don't see like jump potions being a problem, like, because you're kind of catering to the mass majority, the people who have played the game for years, and you can't tell when people are going to come into this game and what they're going to use, or if they're going to start from, level 1 and work their way all the way up to 70, or if they use the jump potion and they miss like the majority of the dungeons and like the journey of learning all the stuff that you know now. So I don't see that as a bad side. Like, people just, they're all walks of life here. So,
but like, when I'm making like an 09 Savage guide, by then I expect you to have seen things,
Right.
Like, I can't, after years, I can't bring myself to make content on things I feel should be a given at this point. Even though I know some people haven't been here for 5 or almost 6 years. It's so difficult for me to bring that content knowing so many people be like, why the fuck are you talking about this? Like, because other people need to know, just not you.
The dungeon thing is the thing that surprised me the most. Just hearing people be like, I watch a dungeon guide for every single dungeon I do. I'm like, I don't know.
I make guides on those and I tell people not to do that.
I don't know. I feel like there's way more enjoyment seeing the dungeon for your first time.
Exactly.
So do I. Dude, for Singularity Reactor Normal, I made a video. In the first minute, I go, this is not a guide. Do not watch a guide. Go do the fight.
Yeah.
And that's it. But if you want to see the fight, and just the fight, which there's nothing special, like, it's just AoE, stack marker, don't stand, like, you don't need me to say what's happening on screen. This is what my kill looked like the first time I did it, but go do it yourself instead. Just go do it. Don't watch this, okay?
Yeah, like, once you know how the game works, like, you could do everything blind. Even Savage raids, too, you could do completely blind as long as your group wants to do it blind. I like doing things blind. I think it's the most fun.
Yeah.
But not everybody, you got to also understand, like, not everybody also wants it.
I know, that's the tough thing. Because you know how many people then said, no, but seriously, when's the guide for this? I'm like, no, I'm not doing
that's
one.
the hard part.
I'm not doing one.
Yeah.
You know what else is really tough with guides? Because I tend to roll with, like, very high level of players. We skip a lot of mechanics at the end of fights, and I have to go begging. I have to go begging people, like, "Yo, do you know what happens in like the last minute and a half of the fight? Do you have footage of that?" I remember Moko. I say Moko because of his Twitter handle. Rincham. The first time I ever contacted him was for Thornton Extreme, and I was like, "Yo, somebody told me that you have footage of up to Enrage." Can I have that?
Where he starts spamming like the AoE. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, yeah, no, you can go ahead and use it.
What happened to enrages like that? I miss slow enrages. Soft enrages.
I mean, they have soft. They're soft and they get hard. That's how it works. Right. I said that, Sly. I said that on purpose because I was I literally looked at your face because they have an AoE. The AoE gets stronger and then it just fucks you.
Yeah, because it got hard.
Yeah. I literally said it that way just so I looked at Sly's face. I'm not looking at the camera he can see me in. I looked at his face and said it.
Yeah.
Viagra enrages. There you go. You just bring 8 characters who are playing the new Viagra race.
The Vianga.
And give it 11 minutes and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's it. Hard enrage.
That just made me think of the new Nier 24, man, because what if it has Nier music and then I try to make a video about it and then I got copyright striked?
You better find some other fucking music. I mean, Final Fantasy has had a shit ton of Final Fantasy music, remixes of the themes. I think because they're remixes, they're exclusive to 14 in particular.
Like, it'll probably be 14 Nier music.
When I do the guides for the 24-mans, I don't take the in-game music. I just take the same music that is in-game and put it behind the video. But it still matches the parts.
That's something I do is when I'm recording, I'll turn the music off and I'll be recording in silence. And I'll be playing the game with literally just I have no music on. I'm just playing with the sound effects on, and I hate it. But that's how I have to do it because I want to have music in the background correct. Like I want to be able to have cuts and have a continuous music playing, but still have cuts. So I have to record with no music on, in silence. It's weird.
I hate playing with any music on in the game. I don't play with sound effects or background music unless it's new content, which new tracks.
Yeah.
Because I just...
The patch days, basically.
I just don't want to hear the themes that many times.
Oh, yeah. Like game music itself, I'll listen to it when it patches out, but then after that and after I'm done... hearing it for the first time, I listen to my own music after that. But
that's what
when I'm recording, I listen to nothing. It's silent. It's really weird. It's jarring when you're used to listening to music.
It helps me sometimes with some bosses, like Alexander. He was his percentage most of the time doesn't go down, or his phases don't go based on percentage; they go based on time, pretty much. And so I always line up mechanics to the song, pretty much.
Yes. So like certain fights, like turn 13, you could do that. The fights where they really put the music to the fight was really good. Ukab, you could do that. You could go to the song.
You don't have a choice in Ukab. The only song you can't use is Thunderer, and honestly, I wouldn't fucking want to after all these years. Tired of that goddamn theme.
Oh, God.
Stop using Thunderer. You used it in Eureka. Stop using it.
The whole time I was progging Ukab, I left the game music on because I was just like, I fucking love answers. I'm leaving the game music on.
Yeah.
The whole time I progged.
But then you go back to, it's back to Twintania, and then you're fucking back to Thunderer.
Back to Thunderer.
I hate it. I hate Thunderer. I hate it.
Thunder is pretty bad.
I hate it. Okay. With that, we've kind of just hit on a bunch of general content creation stuff. Some in regards to 14, some in general. I do want to open it to either of you if there's anything you think we haven't touched upon, any specific scenario, any topic that you guys feel we haven't pressed on enough. Chat, I'll open that up to you too in case there's a specific topic that isn't too particular but is still relatively important that you feel we may have missed. I don't know if you two have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, if there's any questions, that'd be cool. I earlier in chat, I was just seeing when's basically when's basically this, when's basically that. I was like,
you specifically asked me not to ask you that on this show.
Yeah. Thank you. I know you did it. Thank you.
The problem was you asked me in my own chat in front of everybody, and thus everybody knew.
I don't think before I say things sometimes.
Me neither. That's why the videos are so long.
There it is. You guys basically gave pretty much horror stories, and success stories of being a content creator, a Final Fantasy 14 content creator. And again, this is not meant to scare people. Like, it's not meant to stop you from doing content creation. But if there is like someone watching this, and they are feeling like they want to get into content creation, with all that being said, what do you tell them?
That's a loaded question.
That's a loaded. I say if you have a passion for something, you shouldn't have any questions. That's it. If you want, that's the biggest thing for me. If you say, "Man, I really want to make this," but nope, stop. Mm-hmm. You really want to make it? Do you really want to make it, or it's just an idea and you really just want it to exist? Meaning anyone can make it, and then you'd be content. If you want to make it, that's it. Stop. No questions, no buts. Just go do it. If you really care, that's the end of it.
But Happy, all the stuff you said, it's so scary.
I said don't care about those. I said don't care about demonetization on YouTube or anything along those lines. All I did was give you a very realistic look into the planning, into the execution, into the thought process. Larry did the same. You're going to experience those things one way or another. And if hearing that is enough to dissuade you, you weren't that passionate about the idea in the first place. Because then you heard, oh man, effort. See ya.
Effort. I think you got to do it because it's fun. I have a lot of fun making videos. Like the Ice Mage video, I had a blast doing it. I was doing it for 2 days straight, and I would wake up and I'm like, the next day I woke up and I was like, I want to work on this right now. And so I just kept working on it. I'm like, this isn't even going to get monetized, but I don't care. I really just want to make it. And that's how you got to be when you first start too.
Yeah, and Fusion brings up a good point. Content creation does not need to be video. You'll experience a lot of the same things doing other stuff. Audio, if someone's audio levels are fucked, you don't record a correct track. Making sure you actually can capture everyone's voices individually so you can modify them yourself. You have writing articles. You have, reviews. There's a million different ways to create content. But the bottom line is, if you hear, effort, and that's it, you're done. As soon as, if you really care about creating it, if you really care about streaming on Twitch, making a YouTube video, having your own forum or news website, or writing articles for this, or audio podcast, then if you care, you'll do it.
Yeah.
Because you don't, how can you be worried about people watching when you haven't even made it yet?
The other thing is I hear a lot of like, is it like too saturated? As in like, even in just our community, like even just 14, I'm like, no, like there's always room for more content creators, especially on YouTube and Twitch too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, saturation should never be a thing either. Like if saturation was going to be a problem, it would have been a problem ages ago. It's just not really a concern.
I would never be here if saturation was a problem. I started making videos like
just before our second expansion.
Yeah, during Heavensward, near end of Heavensward. Like, and YouTube was already a huge thing by then. There were huge YouTubers. Like I think like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye were like the biggest ones, and PewDiePie. I think they still are, but
PewDiePie's just at 90 million, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe to PewDiePie.
There you go.
But yeah.
Damn it.
It's you just have to want to do it. That's the bottom line. You just have to want to do it. It doesn't matter what kind of content it is. You just have to want to do it. And any sort of reservation you're having, just gotta squash that shit. You gotta do it.
I can't imagine my life without him doing it, because my life is so different than it was before.
Yeah, I didn't. There was a Final Fantasy 14 5-year video a while back, and I tried to keep it very simple because I could have recorded like 20 minutes worth of shit for that. Of course. Anyway, but like one thing is like how much Final Fantasy 14 like the community of content creation around 14 has changed me in a lot of ways over the years, and so I would change certain things about the way I went about it. I would change a lot of the early day stuff, but I wouldn't change it happening ever.
Yeah.
I would never want to delete my, how many fucking videos is it at this point? 3,074 videos that I've made over the last 5 years.
I think I'm at like 100.
You gotta have more than 100.
No, I don't think so.
Although I'm sure that's counting some like I never posted or like never made it past, the starting point. Yeah.
How can I count?
When you just go to Video Manager Videos, it says at the top.
Oh, yeah. They changed the freaking Creator Studio again.
I don't use it. I hate it. I went back to old school. I hate the Creator Studio. Yeah. You couldn't monetize videos in the Creator Studio. You still had to go back to the old one.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I using this?
Wait, I'm in the new one still. What the?
Live YouTube was.
You can opt into like the old one.
Yeah, I forgot where it was, but I opted into the old one.
So did I.
You can't adjust playlists or anything in the new one. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's so bad. Whatever. I have like a little bit over 100.
I thought you had. You know what? I'm gonna find out because I can go to your channel and find out. It seems YouTube has allowed me to do it faster than you.
Yeah, because I try to go into my.
You have 171 videos. Literally, I go to the search bar. I type Larryzaur. That's the first thing it tells me. It shows me your face, anime stuff over it, the classic, and then it says, "I am here" in all caps. I'm Larry, and I make dumb videos. Basically, videos to make the world a brighter place. That's Larry's kind-hearted words. 171 videos is what it says over that.
I worked hard on those 171 videos.
You sure did.
Except maybe one of them.
You're fucking right. That's why I say I have except one. That's why when I say I have 3,000 videos, they take a lot less forward thinking to get the majority of those videos done. But I wouldn't take back except some of the ones I fucked up on. But I wouldn't take back the experience of making all those. As much trouble and time and everything that it is. It has bored me over the years. It has also given me a lot more in return. And content creation does that if you care about it, if you're passionate about it. Because sometimes even just sharing that passion with other people is all you need to feel good about making something.
Yeah.
And
that's really it.
That's the time.
It does change you.
It does. Especially once you get into a rhythm. You get into a rhythm and things just it's just a mind of its own.
Yeah, when you get into a rhythm, it's really good. I struggle with getting out of the rhythm. Well, I have a trouble turning it off. When I turn my computer off, I'm like, okay, time. It's 10 p.m. I should be stopped working now. I'll go outside and we'll be watching something. I'm just thinking of how to edit that other thing that I was trying to figure out.
I'm thinking about how to get S ranks in Devil May Cry 5 right now because that fucking trophy ain't gonna platinum itself. All right. That's what's on my mind right now. Oh man, yeah, and then because I've just got some clips of me soloing through Palace of the Dead, and I've got Kingdom Hearts stuff and all sorts of random shit like that, where it's it's simple, it's easy, and then I've got the stuff that actually requires a good bit more time. I've got me eating a wing that made it so I couldn't eat for 3 days straight. That was fun. Howlin' Ray's chicken in LA. Go there, it's delicious. It's in Chinatown, but it's for the cheap rent, I imagine, because it is a shithole mall that place is located in, but it is fucking amazing. So go there if you're in LA. I'd expect to wait at least an hour.
I died of spicy food.
Yeah, I couldn't eat for 3 days.
Wow.
I got another order with it, and that order went uneaten for 3 days because I actually couldn't consume food.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's
what?
Yeah. It was and in the clip all you hear is Michael Jackson's You Rock My World playing over the loudspeaker. It's very fitting.
Yeah.
Cuz that's exactly
Your world got rocked.
Yeah, my world definitely got rocked. Oh man. Anything else, Sly? Was that an adequate answer out of me?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, you
I get what? I put a lot of heart into that.
You did. I'm proud of you, baby.
Don't do that. Don't.
Proud of you, Daddy.
Don't do that. I don't need you to do that right now, Sly. Okay. With that,
I'm good. If nobody had any other questions from chat. Looking.
I mean, I saw a few. I just saw where's the O12 Savage guide, which I talked about that earlier.
Where's the Bardessian Arsenal guide?
Did I fucking just kill the boss? All right, if you fought Ozma, then you've done Baldessian Arsenal. Good job. There's 3 of him occasionally. Good luck.
Who is my favorite person?
Yeah.
Who is your favorite person, Larry?
My fiance Eva, who also asked the question. She asked the question.
Yeah, no, we got that.
Yeah.
What you know it knowing that, see, I would have just said me. My favorite person is me. Just to see the reaction. Good answer, Kappa. See, that's the fucked up thing, because I know that Kappa's not as fucking fake right there. She's like, no, I was really expecting you to say that. If you didn't say that when this podcast is over, we're gonna have a fucking talk. All right?
I hear her laughing maniacally over in the other room.
She typed it out too. She typed out her own maniacal laughter.
Yes, while she was laughing.
That's the first time somebody hasn't typed LOL and it's been true. Because she didn't type it.
Yeah.
But it was true. All right. Well, with that, I think we're at almost about the 2-hour mark for the show. So I think we can wrap things up. Thank you again to SteelSeries that we mentioned at the beginning. Go enter the giveaway. Thank you again to our Patreon sponsors. And Larry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you, Larry. We didn't get to hang out at all at FanFest because everyone was so busy.
I just saw you.
Yeah, I briefly saw you, waved, and then we both walked in different directions.
Yeah.
We didn't even get a picture together.
Did we not get a picture together?
We sure didn't.
Sure. I thought we did.
It's all right. One day.
Damn. Next FanFest.
You did not sound actually you're like, damn.
No, I am. I like pictures, dude.
Man.
You're going to Japan. Eva's going to Japan. I can't go to Japan because we're saving for a house, so I can't go. But I could have seen you if I was going to Japan.
That's a good hypothetical. You're definitely correct. If you and I were in the same location, we would certainly see each other. Yes,
but I'm saying that Eva's going to Japan at the same time that you're going to Japan, and I would have been going with her.
Oh, okay, I guess.
So like I actually would have been going at the same time as you, but I just can't.
Okay. It's all right.
That's why.
Okay, I misunderstood. I was just like, well, if I was in Japan, I'd say hi. I'm like, yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you were in San Francisco, I would say hi too.
Yeah, I'll go to San Francisco.
San Francisco. The Bay Area.
How is it? Is it nice?
Fucking better than LA, I'll tell you that much.
Good. That's good.
Fucking LA, man. It's not that much more expensive, surprisingly.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty shocked too.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been much more.
I'm sure it would be if I was like in downtown proper, but I ain't, so woo! Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. Anyway, on that note, thank you for joining us, Larry. Why don't you tell everyone what you're working on, where they can find you at, what you got going on? Yeah, plug your stuff. Plug your stuff.
I'm Larry. Hello. Well, I was just on the show this whole time, so you know that. But you can find me on Larryzaur. My name's Larryzaur on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere. I'm not working on a basically video. That's it.
I'm not working on one.
Yeah, I'll make one when I make one.
You know who I am, and I'm not working on this. See ya.
Yeah,
That was the best plug I think I've ever heard.
That's it. I'm done.
That's it. That's it. That's all he needed. All right, then Slyh, I guess what are you doing?
Hi, I'm Slyh. You can find me at twitch.tv/Slyakagreyfox, Instagram Slyakagreyfox07, Twitter at Slythefox, youtube.com/The Velvet Room. I have actually gotten better with uploading shit for Shin Megami Tensei and all Devil May Cry's up there. Next week is Super Robot Wars T. I will be on front page. And again, animating the shit out of Twitch. It's a good time.
Moving out of Twitch?
Animuing.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean? Where are you going? Mixer? You going to Mixer? Let's all go to Mixer. What? Why you get so quiet? Is that bad? Okay, we won't go to Mixer.
No.
Okay, we stay Twitch. Wait, Alexa, stop. Wait, what?
Said Mixer, not Alexa. Oh shit! Now I said it.
Oh fuck. Oh god. Like the funny thing is, Larry, Siri does that shit. Siri does that shit too. Sometimes I have to watch it. Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay.
I'm Mr. Happy. You can find me at Mr. Happy 137, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. At all those places. I'm going to Japan in... What's today? That's not a good way to find out. It's not Tuesday, the day. Today's the 12th. I'm going in like 9-10 days. So I'm going to JP FanFest. Square Enix is sponsoring the trip. I'm going to make a ton of content while I'm there. I'm going to do some video logs, or vlogs as the hip kids call them, as well as content on all of the stage events, the Eorzea Cafe, an interview with Yoshida as I visit the Japan studios. And I'm looking forward to it because it's on my bucket list. I'm not going to see too many things though, because Mel and I still got to go together at some point, and I don't want to see everything and be like, I don't want to go. I'm good. I've been there. You see ya.
I've been there. You should have been there. It was great.
Well, she lived there for a couple of years in college, so she actually she knows it way better than I do.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was jealous. Now I get to go for 4 or 5 days. I'm mega excited. Omega excited. Yeah, like Omega lull, but like excited. It's like I don't know what that would look like.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you to see Weep Town. Akiba, all the anime girls.
He keeps calling it Weep Town.
It's what it is.
He's like, you'll get it.
Yeah, you'll get it. You'll see. You're gonna step out of the train station and you're gonna look up and you're gonna see all the anime girls everywhere and you're gonna be like, oh, that's what Larry meant by Weep Town. Okay.
But it's like
a bunch of people cosplaying.
Yeah. Lots of cosplayers.
But are they weebs?
Yeah. They like anime.
Yeah. No, Haps. They're not fucking weebs. Like you like to call it.
Term of endearment weebs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good weebs.
They can't just be enthusiasts. They have to be weebs.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not Are they even gaijins? They're just
no. Some are.
Some.
Okay.
You can't say that word when you're there, though. Don't say that.
I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was saying it and Emma was like, Larry, stop.
You are one. You can't say it.
Well, because, sometimes I'll just say like Japanese words as a joke, like ironically, and she'll be like, Larry, they understand what you're saying. Like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Good job, Larry. Times like this where I'm glad I barely know any Japanese. The only reason I even used the term gaijin is because when Koji was practicing for the Rise rap, he was just walking through parks and just rapping it to himself, and everyone thought it was some crazy gaijin. That's what he told me at the very least. All right, that's a good. I remember that story. That was a fun story. Okay, on that note, we're gonna move on over into a short post show. Or just hang out and chill for a few minutes before we all go and do other important things. So thanks again, Larry, for joining us again.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And
awesome.
We will see you all next week for a show I'll tell Sly about in a week from now. So thanks, thanks for watching. Until then, bye-bye.
See you next week.
Bye.